Hey, good morning. It's Friday. Yay. I love Friday. It's also payday. Okay, so this is today's edition of Three Moms and a Dad. We have, of course, three moms here, one dad. I'm Tracy Humphrey here at ABC 10, where I am a morning/weekend meteorologist. I do a little traffic. I do a little bit of everything. But most importantly here, I am a mom. And so we try to take this opportunity to talk to moms and dads about what's happening and what some of the current topics are. And today is a good one. Today is about Disney Plus. They have really been pushing with their marketing that they're going to have, you can get all of the Disney compilations, you can get all of the Disney films and animations for a low price. And what kid doesn't love watching Disney? Like, you can cook a whole Thanksgiving meal with a kid in front of the television watching Disney movies. However, there's a couple things about some of the Disney movies you might not be too much of a fan of. And so this right here kind of showing, depending on what you're using, you can get Disney Plus through Hulu. You can get it as an add-on, or you can just go through it directly. And look at it. I mean, I think right now you guys were saying, is it $6.99?
For it individually.
Yeah. For it individually, and that's how you can get it. So we're going to introduce ourselves, kind of give our family dynamic, get into what is the quote-unquote could be issue for you with Disney, and kind of do a little parent 411 on what's happening. So I have one daughter. Her name is Julian. She's in first grade, and she's 7 years old. And Joe, what about you?
I have two boys. One is 3 going on 4. The other just a couple, months over 1. So they're little boys still. But,
little boys.
Yeah.
Now Joe works here with us. He's
Yes.
in creative. So he's our creative mind.
Yes.
Okay, so Ashley, she's here with us quite often.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Ashley, and I am a mom of 6. The oldest is 13, and the youngest will be 4 next month.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
We love having Ashley. She covers everything.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we also have Demetra.
Hi, I'm Demetra. So I have 2 daughters, 8 and 4. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my girls are definitely really into movies, Disney movies, all of that. So it's a great topic.
Okay, so let's get into the topic. So here is a disclaimer that Disney came out with. This program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. So where does that come from? Well, apparently some of the Disney films were created a long time ago when we may not have been as sensitive to some of the racial stereotypes. And they're basically saying, FYI, your kid might watch something where you might feel it's a little inappropriate. That's probably where the parenting comes in, but they're just giving you a heads up. That's what you might need to be on the watch for. So I had a personal experience with this. So my daughter's watching Pocahontas, which was actually released animation in 1995.
Yes.
She's 7 years old. I'm cooking or something, and I hear savages, dirty little savage, yeah. And so I'm like, what? And so I run in the other room, and I'm like, what are you watching? And so she's like, Pocahontas, and I'm like, so I stop it, and so I actually found the lyrics to the song.
Yeah.
It actually says, "What can you expect from filthy little heathens? Here's what you get when races are diverse. Their whole disgusting race is like a curse. Their skins are hellish red. They're only good when dead. They're vermin, as I said, and worse." And then I think it says, dirty, shrieking devils. And they're singing this as they are with guns, I guess probably muskets back then. And then they're going off to find the Native Americans. And they ultimately have, this scene where many of the Native Americans are killed. I stopped and said, okay, okay, so are you hearing what they're saying? And she said, huh? She didn't know what I was talking about. I was too much for her. She wanted to know what was a savage. So I had to kind of explain that. And so what I basically said to her was, I'm not going to tell you guys what I said. What would you guys do? Okay, sorry, I don't want to dominate the conversation. What would you think in that moment?
If I were in your scenario, if I had an older kid who was watching it, if she didn't say anything,
What are you saying when we say older? You have
okay, mine's 3, almost 4, and he, I guarantee it would go over his head. To him, there's no separation. People are people, and he loves everyone. But when they get into school and suddenly cliques and bullies and all that starts becoming more of a reality, I would have a discussion if it came about, for sure.
If he initiated?
If I would probably wait for him to initiate it. To me, the movie's pretty obvious that he's clearly a villain. He is an embodiment of evil.
Got you.
And so you would expect
Governor
far,
Ratcliffe,
Governor Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
It's that far spectrum of just that evil, narrow mindset that they're trying to paint a picture here, especially rising up to the point where they're going to go slaughter human beings, innocent human beings.
Yes.
So absolutely, when my sons get older, I will initiate that kind of conversation.
Will you have the conversation before they watch the movie, or as the movie is happening?
I would probably do it during the movie.
During the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think that they're paying attention to the words in the movie.
Most
So
kids
kind of just interrupting the movie just to have that discussion is kind of just odd.
Okay, so here's the thing. What age do you think they would hear those words?
You know, did your parents talk to you when you guys watched Pocahontas as a kid?
Not at all.
No.
And did you guys understand what was the context of the movie? Did you guys hear those words?
I did.
I did.
I think I was in 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah, but my
when it
point,
came out.
at what age do you think those words would register with a child?
I don't think it would register with
So
a
you think
child.
5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade,
The
they're
only
not
reason
hearing
why
dirty
is
little heathens?
because only reason why I think they're just worried about Pocahontas. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, this
And,
is. But
oh no,
I
something's going to
think
happen to
just-
Pocahontas. Like,
Yeah, and I
they
think
feel
they're not
sense of
really paying
concern.
attention to what's been said in the movie. Just like you mentioned already, that you had actually found out when you recently watched Pocahontas that this was said during the movie.
Yes, but I also
So-
didn't watch it as an 8th grader or a 9th grader. So my point is, 7-year-olds maybe not, but when a child gets to middle school and high school, they hear those words.
They hear it, but I still think that it's more of the adults that are hearing the words that are being said and that are recognizing that the things that are going on during the Disney movies. The kids, they're just watching a movie, having fun. Maybe they're even on their phone while they're watching the movie, but they're just not in sync with the movie as much as we are.
Huh. Okay, what do you think, Demetra?
You know, I actually want to touch base on a couple of things that, both of them had said. As far as the context of understanding it from a kid's perspective versus adult perspective, I kind of agree with what Ashley's saying a little bit, that, I certainly did not register any of those words. Savages, yes. But the words in the songs didn't really register much, and that wasn't a song that I was really into singing.
Yeah.
It was the evil song.
Colors of the
It was the
Wind.
bad song. I sang that one, and I've watched this movie, starting from a little kid up until, I probably watched it as a teenager. I probably watched it as an adult, and until you read them to me, I have never registered those words.
Yeah.
Now, touching on the concept that you talked about, they were villains. You expect them to say these things. You expect them to be evil. And one of the great storylines in the movie is the fact that, Ratcliffe was the evil guy. Everyone else kind of followed along. They believed what he said. They believed that people were hoarding gold, and they believed that these were savages, right? But throughout the movie, they realized they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They
your
had a
kids have
learning
the
dis-
Disney
yeah.
Plus app.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know if you've actually talked to your children about the Disney Plus app and the things that are going on that are going to be viewed while they're watching the Disney Plus app.
No, actually, they have Pocahontas at home. They have those movies. They don't watch them like every single day. And I am typically watching with them anytime that they're watching something. They do have access to their tablets. Right now, they have access to Netflix shows. And they have certain shows that they're able to watch on there. It's the kid app of it. But, we have a lot of discussions about TVs, movies, things that come up. That's really important to me. I also don't really censor my kids a ton. So we have a lot of discussions already. They're already fluid. So
When you say you
this
don't
were to
really
come
censor
up-
your kids,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
So they are, the only thing I really censor is anything to like a sexual nature. Everything else, when we talk about, if there's cursing in there, we talk about that. We look at different behavior, bad behavior. I talk to, my oldest, she's 8, so I say, do you see how they're acting? Do you see how ridiculous that looks?
Okay, I have
So
like
you
a
use it
little
as a
guilty
teaching
question.
It is a teaching experience.
What's
Yeah.
the worst thing that your child has watched on TV that you feel that maybe have been a little inappropriate for the average kid?
Oh gosh.
Pocahontas. Sorry, go ahead. I'm still on Pocahontas.
I mean, sometimes I'll be watching a show, like an adult show that I
I'm guilty.
And
I'm guilty.
To walk in like, so I was watching like, I think Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
She was like, what is going on there? And I'm like, they drank way too much wine. This is what happens. And now they're going to feel sick and they're going to be throwing up. And this is why you don't do these things.
Got you.
And she's like, oh yeah, that looks crazy.
Do you guys?
Okay, so hold on one second. So let's just circle back.
Yeah.
So Facebook, we actually put this comment up on Facebook. So we had a lot of people kind of chiming in. So I just want Joe to go through some comments.
Yeah,
on
we
what people
got a
said.
couple comments here. First of all, Gwen said, kids are so smart. You just tell it like it is and they understand better than you think.
They do.
I always say that's how it was back then. It's not like that now. Times have changed. Keep it simple and age appropriate.
Okay, I hear
Go
that.
deeper into history depending on age. But if they're still young, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Well said, Gwen. I don't know if this is Jacques.
Jacques.
I don't want to mess it up, Jacques. But never really explained it. She noticed some non-PC stuff years ago and commented, things were just different in the 1900s. It helped her see the progress in this century. And Alexander said, I don't. Kids know a lot more than we think.
They do.
And if there's something they don't understand, they ask. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I never told. So here's what I did. I ended up kind of telling my daughter. I stopped the movie and said, this is when they came over, Europeans, and they actually ended up killing a lot of Native Americans. They wanted the land, and a lot of them died. And I said, so I just want you to know what's happening here wasn't really a nice thing.
Right.
And she said, well, why would they make a movie about something so horrible? I said, unfortunately, that's part of our history. And then she says, oh, okay, well, can we get to the Pocahontas part? And I said, okay. So I pressed play and then I walked out and then I thought, wow, I had it in a whole different way than she had it. And then I thought, is it because of the current political climate and our current climate period?
Sensitivity.
There is a more, and I work in a news station, so
Yeah.
is it because my triggers are different? And is it because we are in a little bit more of a heightened everything now, I feel like is a little bit more palpable? Do you think that might change a child's perception of something? Because race seems like it's everywhere now. Not that it wasn't when I was growing up, but now, I mean, everything seems like to be
Times
a little
has
touch.
definitely changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would that change how you might parent a child when watching things like this? Or would you still do I'll let the child come to me?
Again, it's navigating the times.
Got
You take it, like they said, take it as it comes. I am always looking for teachable opportunities with my son, Ellis, the oldest. But we were discussing earlier, like, would you stop it or not? I have stopped things where clearly he keeps asking, but why is that? Why is that? Then I will stop. Otherwise, I'll just be like, oh, well, we can talk about that later. You know, we watch a show and I will make a point, like you say, give some context. But yeah, you take it as it comes. And it is, you know, we're all changing. We are in a very heightened time in America, especially.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Disney is also changing too.
Oh yeah, they're changing. The way they're telling movies is changing.
Do you think they should have taken the movies off?
I don't.
No.
I'm not a fan of ignoring what happened in the past.
Got you.
I
Okay.
think that is what is teachable, and
Okay.
it's important to have that so that we can point to it and say, see, like which one of them said it? The progress in the century, Jacques said. We can look back and say, unfortunately, historically, we weren't sensitive,
Got
and
you.
we did treat people based on these narrow-minded stereotypes, and not as fellow human beings.
Got
And
you.
so I think it's important to keep it there as a reference to how far we've come. And again, you know, they say, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Got you.
Correct.
What do you
Yeah.
ladies think? Would you think Disney did the right thing keeping them on? I would imagine there's probably a code you can go in and deselect certain things. You know, like Netflix, if you don't want
You can say I don't
certain
like
type
it.
of language or you want things that are certain, you know, like you can go,
I
for my
have-
daughter, I can
yeah.
go by age range or
Okay.
whatever. So I wonder if you can deselect those
I mean,
movies.
Pocahontas would still be something I think would go into younger ages.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I agree. I would not be comfortable with them censoring it in any way. I think that's a parent's choice to let their kids watch it or
Got
not.
you.
And, you know, history is very important to learn. When I'm, you know, teaching social studies with my daughter, we're talking about, you know, the foundation of America and that there were indigenous peoples currently living here and what happened to them. And, you know, that's something that's, you know, very openly talked about at our house. And we discuss Thanksgiving in different ways as well. So, you know, everything can be a teaching moment. It just, is about how far you want to delve into it depending on your child's age. So I don't think that they should have removed it at all. I think that it should be something that's on there. It's still an enjoyable movie. It's cute.
Okay, so I'm going to go a whole different route.
I am too.
Yeah, right.
I am too.
So I want to, Rachel, we want to tell her thank you for watching. And we do have a lot of people that are watching on Facebook. And so if you make a comment, we'll take a look at your comment. And we'll also make sure that we circle back and address your comment. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out, why is this so sensitive to me? And I'm thinking because as a black woman, maybe because some of the stereotypes are offensive to me because they are showing me in an offensive light. Is that why I don't want it to be shown, or I don't like it being shown because I don't think children need any more fuel? Do you think that's why I'm more sensitive?
No, because I totally understand how you're feeling right now, and I agree. If I had the option to censor it out for my children, I would definitely censor it out. Why show them something when they don't have to be shown that? Why, put fuel into them when it doesn't necessarily have to be? They're children. They're not adults yet. They're not teenagers yet. They're children.
So maybe that's why I'm
But don't you think they would experience that, something may be said
in the classroom or something?
Classroom,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the real
Or
world.
playground.
Yeah, and
I mean,
So
life
these
is
are things
awesome
that you
going
can't
on.
I will
hide.
address it then,
Yeah.
but then it's not Disney's responsibility to teach our children. It's our responsibility to teach our children. So,
But they're going to see movies. They're going to
They
see.
will
So
see
I don't keep mine in a
movies.
bubble. When topics that are tricky come up, we discuss them right away. We talk about people of different abilities. We talk about people, that are different. I think embracing differences is something that's amazing. Do you remember when everybody was in an uproar over Ariel? Talking about doing a live version of Ariel.
No, circle back. Give me a little bit more context.
So they, people were talking about, I remember on Facebook, people were frustrated
it was a black
with
Ariel.
they were talking about the casting. And it was going to be Ariel. And basically I was like, well, is the hair going to be red? Because
I remember.
That's kind of the only thing I think
So
of
they
in my
didn't want
mind.
a black Ariel?
Well, there were some people,
They didn't want
of
a black
course.
Ariel. They didn't.
I think there was more support than there was negative comments from what I was reading. But you're going to have, anytime there's any topic that is controversial, you're going to have people that is for it, people that is against it. And we talked about it, and my daughter was like, why does it matter what color skin
That's
the
probably
actress
adults
had?
getting into it again.
Yeah.
It is.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I
Kids
feel
are
like it's
easier.
more adults controlling this, but I still feel like kids have a sense of innocence to them. Why take that away? Just why? Why do that to them?
I don't know.
So if I had the option to censor it out, I would.
probably would.
But
They're
that's
talking about
that's
history.
somebody else's
Yeah.
household. Maybe they should just give
Yeah.
parents or children
Yeah,
the option
absolutely.
to do it, because I would censor it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's a parent's choice to discuss it or not.
That's why it's
Absolutely, yeah.
important. I do think it's good that they have the disclaimer.
Yes.
To let you know,
Exactly.
To let
right?
you know.
Give
And
you a
then
heads up.
as the
Exactly.
parent
Can
could
decide.
choose. Like, I don't want my kid to.
But
be
here's the
exposed to
thing.
this
Now,
yet.
here's the thing. Now it's holidays. Your kid goes over to other people's houses. They're visiting. All of a sudden, they come back
Correct.
savages. Ho, 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 what's going on? Like
I would prefer to discuss it when it happens at my
When
own
it
home.
happens,
And this
okay.
is exactly why I don't censor it, because
they're going to be exposed.
correct.
regardless,
They will
we
be
can't
exposed.
control
And
the
what if there
exposure.
isn't an option to censor it off of there? How do you go about telling them, I don't want you to watch this?
And it's
How are
all
you gonna
about
say- you're going to have to
effective
explain it in a
communication
way.
with your kids.
True.
Right.
It's always about.
I'm still figuring it out. Maybe I'm trying to do the right thing in every right instance, and maybe sometimes I'm just going to get it wrong, and I just need to be
That's
open
fair.
to that.
Everyone.
Yeah, right. And I think I'm trying to head everything off. Like, I don't want you to see anything I
Yeah.
haven't prepared you for, and life is just, there are going to be things I haven't told you that are going to happen, and you're just going to have to figure it out on your own, and we're going to have to circle back. And I don't know why we put that pressure on ourselves as parents. I got to do better.
Because we want the best for our children, and that's what a supportive parent does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. Thanksgiving, favorite Thanksgiving dish, and then we're going to sign off.
Oh man, a lot of people disagree, but I like sweet potatoes with the marshmallows.
Was that like a
my
souffle?
wife doesn't like it. I forget what you even call it, but luckily me and her mom are the only people on her side of the family that love it.
So you always
I
eat it.
all.
Okay,
I love it.
so Ashley, Demetra, favorite Thanksgiving dish?
I'll let you go first.
Oh gosh. So we don't eat turkey. So I like all of the other sides. My favorite is probably mashed potatoes and gravy and like a green bean casserole and pie.
I love
So,
gravy.
what is that about green bean casserole?
Okay, Okay, Ashley, what about you?
My family's favorite Thanksgiving dish is banana pudding. It is
Banana
so
pudding?
delicious.
You put vanilla wafers in it? Or?
I do.
Yeah.
Whipped cream
Really?
on top, yes.
Okay, so my
that's
favorite is a dessert,
Yes.
and it would be chocolate pound cake.
Oh.
Have you ever had a chocolate
Never.
pound cake?
No.
Oh, it's so good. My aunt brings it over and it's still warm.
Oh, wow.
So we want to thank you guys for being with us today. 3 Moms and a Dad. We're on weekly. We're always trying to do things that are topical. I want to thank you guys for being with us today. This is an interesting one. I'm sure over the course of the holiday, as people start to get Disney Plus going into Christmas and Thanksgiving, it might come up a little bit more in your household. And how you choose to deal with it, let us know. We'd love to hear about it. In the meantime, enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend.